الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن دعا بدعوته واستنى بسنته وسار على نهجه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, my brothers and sisters, indeed, I enjoin upon you and upon myself the fear of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. In today's sermon, we will be looking at some of the teachings of one of the verses of the glorious Quran, precisely verse 25th of Surah Al-Anfal. In that noble verse, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is saying, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم واتقوا فتنة لا تصيبن الذين ظلموا منكم خاصة واعلموا أن الله شديد العقاب. Allah the Exalted, in this noble verse of the Quran, is saying that واتقوا فتنة, fear, calamity, fear the wrath of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. That is, you should avoid anything that will lead to the wrath of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala gave us reason why we all collectively need to work towards preventing anything that will lead to the punishment or wrath of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in the community. Then he said, لا تصيبن الذين ظلموا منكم خاصة. He said, لا تصيبن الذين ظلموا منكم خاصة. It is not exclusively going to affect only those who are responsible. Then وَعْلَمُوا, you should all know that أَنَّ اللَّهَ, that certainly Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala شَدِيدُ الْإِقَابِ. His punishment is very, very severe. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala always guides us in various verses of the Quran towards what we will do to have a good life, and also warning us against things when we do will give us problem. Because the essence of the Quran to mankind is that it is as said by Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in a verse in Surah Al-Baqarah that ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said in this noble verse of the Quran that ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ is the book, that is the Quran. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said it is the book لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, there is no doubt in it. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ is a guidance for those who are God conscious. So it is a book that comes to guide you as to what to do to have a good life here and a better life in the hereafter, and what to avoid to stop yourself from suffering here and worse state in the hereafter. Because when you follow the Quran, the first benefit after connecting you to Allah is that it gives you a comfortable life. Comfortable life or successful life is not determined by how rich you are. It is not determined by how powerful you are. It is not determined by those, the crowd you have. Mention anything. Not those things alone doesn't determine your success. As we usually hear from scholars, the richest man can be the most successful man, and the richest man can be the most miserable man. The strongest man can be the most successful man, and the most powerful man can be the most most miserable person. The one who have longest life can be the most successful person, and the one who have longest lifespan can be the most miserable person. And the one who have more children can be the most successful person, and the one who doesn't have children can be the most successful person. And it also goes vice versa. That is the opposite. It's just like knowledge. The most knowledgeable person can be the most successful person, And the most knowledgeable person can also be the most miserable person. So all we need to understand here is this. Everything in this life doesn't mean anything. It's just an opportunity. So how you connect to it, that's what determines what it becomes. The person who has the longest lifespan, unfortunately, is the most miserable person. That is Shaitan. He was there before all of us. And he is going to be there as at the time all of us will disappear. Because he asked Allah and Allah gave him. Why is his long life being miserable? Because he is not utilizing the long life to build. He's using it to what? To destroy. Because he said to Allah, قال رب فأنظرني إلى يوم يبعثون. Allah said, فإنك من المنظرين. Then at the end of the day, what did he say? ثم لآتينهم من بين أيديهم ومن خلفهم وعن أيمانهم وعن شمائلهم ولا تجد أكثرهم شاكرين. So his own lifespan is using it to what? To divert people from what? The path of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. That made his long life to be what? To be useless. So that if anybody wants to show or to say how bad you are, he will say you are a devil. That is, he will equate you to him. The moment they say you are a devil or you are a shaitan, that means they've what? Condemn you completely. And the person who have, so basically, anything that Allah gave you opportunity, it is only good when you connect it to Allah. And it becomes evil when you disconnect it from Allah. Because the moment you disconnect anything from Allah, that means it automatically connects to shaitan. It's automatic. That is, things in this life, Allah says, in everything we created in pair. Hizbullah, Hizbul Shaitan. The moment you are not in this group, then you are in the other group, whether you like it or not. That's all. It's either you are a good person or you are what? A bad person. Whether you are an honest person or what? A dishonest person. So if somebody tells you you are not honest, he is equally telling you are what? Dishonest. So he doesn't want to tell you you are dishonest. Maybe out of respect, he want to use a mild word for you. He say you are what? You are not honest. Instead of him saying you are what? Dishonest. Strict. So basically, the Quran comes to teach you what to do to have good life. That's why Allah say, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, as we usually remind us of this verse of the Quran. Allah say, oh you who believe, istajibu lillah, answer the call of Allah. Walil rasuli, and the call of the messenger, idha da'akum, when they invite you, lima yuhyikum, to what will give you life. We can see the kind of world we have today. The most powerful countries, instead of being builders, they are actually the destroyers. Why? Because the power given to them by Allah, they disconnected that power from Allah. Instead of assisting the weaker ones to grow, what are they doing? They are, suppressing them more. That's the problem. So the moment you take Allah, that's what Allah said in the Prophet said in the hadith. He said, Ad-dunya mal'una. He said the world is cursed. Mal'unatul ma fiha. Everything in it is cursed. Illa dhikrullah, except the remembrance of Allah. Wa ma wala, or what connects to it. Even if it is Quranic knowledge Allah gave you, if you like it, the best reciter in the whole world, the most, understanding person of the Quran, the moment you disconnect that knowledge from the Quran, you become shaitan or worse than shaitan. That's how Allah described one servant of his, that he gave him knowledge of the book one time, and he said it by himself, not in the hadith, in the Quran. Allah said, "Watlu alayhim," give them the story of that person. Alladhi, that one, Atainahu, we gave him. That means no doubt. He said, Atainahu ayatina. We gave him our verses. We gave him our knowledge. Allah said, Fansalakha minha. He slipped out of it. What did Allah say? Allah said, Fa'atba'ahu shaitan. Then shaitan followed him. It's an ironical statement. To show the level of degradation he fell in. Allah did not say he followed shaitan, but Allah said shaitan followed him. Allah said, فَكَانَ مِنَ الْغَاوِينَ. And he became one of who? One of those who went astray. Yesterday, yes, you have those whom, you expect them to be example to others, but sometimes when they do some things, you begin to imagine. So, Allah Ta'ala, is warning us. He said what? We should fear fitna. We should fear calamity. We should fear the wrath of Allah. That is, we should fear whatever we will do to incur the wrath of Allah Ta'ala. By doing what He wants us to do and stopping what He doesn't want us to do, and also admonish those who are doing what Allah doesn't want. Because part of also protecting yourself from the wrath of Allah Ta'ala is by admonishing others. Allah said in a verse of the Quran, He said, in Hadith Muslim, we say what? مَنْ رَأَى مِنْكُمْ مُنْكَرًا فَلْيُغَيِّرْهُ بِيَدِهِ فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ وَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ وَذَلِكَ إِيش أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. He said, whoever sees something wrong amongst you should stop it with what? His hand. If you don't have the capacity, use your tongue. You cannot dislike it in your heart. That is the weakest level of Iman. And, a lot of examples, verses of the Quran, warning against what? Not correcting what is wrong. Because we have our communities, we have our societies engulfed by evil today. Everybody not checking himself. Like I do say, do not think the problem of the country or the problem of the world is only associated with one set of people. But each and every one of us need to check himself. How is he bringing fitna into the community? No one is perfect. No one is perfect. Today you have communities that even Muslims or non-Muslims cannot stay in their place of worship and do their worship with peace of mind. Because people doesn't care about Allah anymore. Someone will say he is a Muslim and he will come and abduct people from the house of Allah, standing worshiping Allah. He will abduct them. He want to collect what? Ransom. You see how the level of wickedness that he does not even care whom they are standing before. And after, the person will say he is fighting for his right. Yes. He will tell you justification. That is, even Allah, that person is not afraid that these people are standing before Allah. He will come and abduct them, pack them to the bush. No fear of Allah, no humanity. That is, those two things are missing. And that is what our society is missing today. No Allah, no humanity. Everybody is about himself. So your brother, your friend, your wife, your husband, your business associate can sell you to make money. Yeah. Everybody now wants money. That's why I say it's all of us. We all need to begin to check ourselves. Like I do tell us, success of every community or every environment, the level of success is this level. The most successful community and the most successful individual is the one who connects himself to Allah. And today, pick your phone, ask the most influential person in history or the most influential personality in the world. Your phone will give you Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Go to chat GBT. Think of other means. It will give you one name. And who is that name? Is a name that say the person he cares for first is who? Allah. He said, Inna a'lamakum billah wa akhshakum ana. He said, the one who knows Allah most and the one who fears him most is himself. So as an individual, your success have the first level has how you are connected to Allah. Next level is humanity. Today, most of us, in your politics, in your business, in your office, Allah is nothing. Because when you are in your politics, when you are in your office, when you are in your business, you feel you are in business, you are not in the mosque. So you've connected your own connection to Allah to when you are in the mosque only. When you are out of the mosque, it has no business with Allah. You feel when you are out of the mosque, you give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and to God what belongs to God. But as a Muslim, your entire life belongs to Allah. Because he told you in the verse of the Quran that Inna Allah, certainly Allah, ishtara, he bought min al-mu'minina, from the believers. He did not say their wealth. He said anfusahum, their what? Their soul. Wa amwalahum, and their wealth. Bi anna lahumul jannah, that they will have what? The paradise. It's Allah. But you still want to decide what to do with those things. You want to eat your cake and have it. So you cannot eat your cake and have it. There is one rule of life. You can never get something without losing something. It's a law of nature. You can never get something without losing something. For you to get something, you must what? Lose something. And if you want to get all, you lose what? All. Yes. If you say you will get your money back and you collect the car also, what happens? You lose all. Maybe after collecting the money, you use the money to fight case in the court. When you finish the court case, you lose the money you wasted in the court because you can't collect the car from him and you're expecting to still return your money to you. So you lose the money, you will also what? You lose the car. So as everyone, so any means given to you by Allah, that is everything given to you by Allah, remember, is a means. If Allah gave you power, if Allah gave you power, He give you wealth, He give you children, He give you knowledge, He give you, wisdom, anything Allah give you, understand that is a means Allah have given you. It is now left to you to decide what you want to buy with that opportunity given to you by Allah. So if we all want to have peace, like now, the bandit cannot have peace. The one in the market cheating is not having peace. Yes, somebody come to buy grain from you, you cheat him. Yes, you also go to buy drug, you also they cheat you. Yes, you cheat people, you collect money for for their grain. You will go, the pharmacist will sell fake drug for you, you will consume. You too, you will die. Yes, so it's the same thing. After you will die, you say they are wicked. You too, you are wicked. So we all need to begin to check ourselves. Even older people, the elders, what do they say? There's an adage in Hausa. It says what? Lefi tudune kan naka kake tsaye kaman kake hangen na dan uwanka. They say what? Crime or sin is like a mountain. You stand on yours to view other people's own. Today, most of us who are not politicians, we assume the bad ones among us are who? The politicians. Those who are not civil servants, they assume the bad ones are who? The civil servants. So everybody is, like I used to say to us, everybody is condemning the side he is not. If you are a Yoruba man, you think the problem is the Hausa man. If you are a Hausa man, you think the problem is who? the Yoruba man. If you are Igbo man, you think the problem is who? But the fact is, every angle have good people and bad people. And every angle is dominated by bad ones. That's the fact. And until we come to that reality and begin to work on ourselves, nothing will change until we change. That's what Allah said. He said, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Allah will not change the state of the people until the people change their state themselves. Even common sense tells you one of the Newton's laws of motion, that is Newton's fourth law of motion. What does it say? It says an object remain in what? In constant motion, or what? Stagnant until what? Something pulls it or what? Push it. Yes. So if you keep a ball, nothing tampers with it, it will remain there for how many, for as long as you leave it there. But if you kick it, it will go forward. If someone kick it from that other direction, it will come back. So the changes will be determined by what we do, the force it interacts with. So if we want our country to change, the country is perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with Nigeria. It is the Nigerians that need to work on themselves. And that is me and you. The Imams need to work on themselves. The Muslims need to work on themselves. The Christians need to work on themselves. The pagans need to work on themselves. The men need to work on themselves. The women need to work on themselves. The youth need to work on themselves. And the elders need to work on themselves. Because like we said, virtually all these groups mentioned, they are dominated by wrong ones. That's the situation we are. But Sadaqa Rasulullah, as a Muslim, it is not a shock. The Prophet said that part of the sign of last hour, he said, إِذَا أُسْنِدَ الْأَمْرُ إِلَى غَيْرِ أَهْلِهِ فَانْتَظِرُوا السَّاعَةِ. He said, when affairs are being handed to those who are not eligible, expect the last hour. So, but as a Muslim, you don't lose hope. You don't lose hope. Try your best. Do what you can. And that's what Allah will ask you. Allah will not ask you what is beyond your power. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها. That's it. Try your own best. And like we said, nobody is perfect. We all need to work on ourselves. Don't relax. Don't continue to look for who to blame. Think about yourself. أقول ما توفق لي ولا الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. من بعد عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل وبس الدين. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala so warn us against getting involved in things that will bring what? Calamity to the society. Then he said, لا تصيبن الذين ظلموا واعلموا أن الله شديد العقاب. You should all know that the punishment of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is very, very severe. We're all seeing what is happening. So prayer alone will not work. If you like, finish Quran 1 million times. It won't change anything if you did not work. You need to marry your dua with what? With action. You need to marry your dua with action. We need to begin to think about Allah first. Like I do say to us, if you want to know the most successful people, they are people who first of all decide to submit themselves to Allah. You said somebody who is, what is Islam? Somewhere they will tell you what total submission. Is it total or partial? Total submission to the will of Allah. If you submit totally to the will of Allah, things will go easy for you. In most cases, those difficulties we are facing are coming from that lack of submission. If lack of submission is helping us, we would have been more successful. Like now, we are not suffering because there is no money. If anybody tells you there is no money, it's a lie. If anybody tells you because there is no food, it's a lie. There is one thing with Allah. He provides us more than our need. Yes. If there is shortage somewhere, go and check there is wastage elsewhere. Yes, you can have 1 million people suffering somewhere. There is one person who can feed that 1 million people in a day. One person. Allah knows why he shared things before. He have told us the reason. He have reason for wanting you to go and get this from this person. He wants us to relate. Like tribal wise now, there are things the northerners have. If the Igbos like, let them do whatever they like, they cannot have them. There are things that the Igbos have. If the northerners like, let them do anything, they cannot have them. There are things the Yorubas dominate. If the Igbos or the Yorubas, if they like, let them gang up together, they cannot collect it. There's what we call destiny. What Allah have written for somebody, nobody can take it. He said, وَعْلَمْ أَنَّمَا أَصَابَكَ لَمْ يَكُنْ لِيُخْطِئَكَ وَمَا أَخْطَأَكَ لَمْ يَكُنْ لِيُصِيبَكَ. Yes, somebody was sentenced to death. Sentenced to death. After being sentenced to death, the person who, in his time, I'm not saying it's wrong, that's their own issue. I'm not a judge. But the issue is the error of the person who sentenced him to death, that person died before him. Another person come, reduce it from where? From death, sorry. He was sentenced to death. The person reduced it from death penalty to what? Life imprisonment. And Allah took that person. Someone else came and took him out and gave him what? Presidential pardon. And after he became president. So what Allah say you will have, you will have. Prophet Yusuf, Allah say he will become what he will become. Everything his brother did, everything after they finished, only ended making him achieve that. So if Allah say you will get something, any effort by anybody to stop you, that is what Allah have designed for you to use to make it. We've seen so many examples. So that is why we need to take life easy. We need to love ourselves. We don't need to hate ourselves. Even your enemy, don't bother yourself about him. If you want to win your enemy, if you want Allah to support you, anybody planning to harm you, you try to do what is good towards the person, then Allah will fight your war for you. But if you say you will continue, they will all suffer at the end of the day. You won't move. I won't also what? Move. So we need to love one another. First, think about Allah. Think about humanity. Then put yourself next level. But if you put yourself first, humanity second, Allah last, that means you are gone. And that's the state we are. So what will change the state? We have to reverse the state. When we reverse the state, Allah will reverse our state. But if we refuse to reverse it, then we'll continue to go down because the decision is not in our own hand. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم اغفر لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا كبرا إلا نفسه ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا يسرته ولا عدو إلا أخذلته ولا مفسد إلا عفيته ولا ميت إلا رحمته ولا حاجة منها وعيد الدنيا والآخرة هي لك رضا ولنا فيها صلاة إلا عنتنا على قضاء ويسرتها بكم رحمكم الله.